Okay, everybody, here we go. It is me, Gregory Mannarino, Thursday, July 6, 2023. People, the stock market is slated to open lower pretty substantially this morning. Dow futures are lower by about 300. As a matter of fact, global stock markets, worldwide stock markets, or stock markets around the world, did sell off last night. All of them, pretty much. Now, risk in this market is rising, period. And you and I, well, we have the greatest tool in the world, in my view, to watch the festivities. I'm referring to the MMRI, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator. It is now this morning at 256. We have crossed that first line in the sand, and it's being reflected in global stock markets now under pressure. As I said, yesterday we had a sell-off here in the U.S. markets. Nothing dramatic, but stocks did fall under pressure. And this morning, looks like the market is going to get hit, at least at the open. Let's see what they pull off here. So with that, on the back of stock futures being lower, let's look at a few other metrics here. The U.S. 10-year yield is 4%. 4%. The Dixie, or the relative strength of the dollar, is lower this morning. Could you only imagine if it were higher where we would be? Again, the Dixie, or the relative strength of the dollar, is a factor in the MMRI. You got cryptocurrencies right now relatively flat, except for Bitcoin Cash, which has been on quite a run lately. It's up by over 10%. Gold and silver are under some pressure right now. Crude oil is relatively flat now. Let's just laugh a minute. Yesterday, crude oil put on over 3% on the back of this promise. Literally, it was a promise by Saudi Arabia. They said this. Saudi Arabia said they will do whatever it takes to keep the price of crude oil higher. Now, Saudi Arabia and Russia have entered into an alliance here to make sure that the price of crude oil remains high. And just think about what that means for you. I mean, do you think Saudi Arabia and Russia are your friends? Do you think they have your interest in mind? Hell no. They got their own, because, again, thousands and thousands and thousands of products are made with crude oil. And you can imagine, again, as I said, what this means. Not only are you and I dealing with this deliberate action of inflationary pressures set forth by central banks, none more so than the biggest freak show criminal organization on the planet. And I'm referring to the Federal Reserve here, and you haven't seen anything yet, and I mean nothing. For those of you that are hoping for some kind of relief, you ain't getting it anytime soon. And Saudi Arabia is going to make sure that's happening. Russia is going to make sure it's happening. The Federal Reserve, Bidenstein. Did you see the comments yesterday? I called out Bidenstein again, and I got pretty much slammed. Oh, Greg, no respect for our president. You're a slime ball. I'm getting called a slime ball. Call me whatever you want. I'm going to say what I feel is on my mind. If you don't like it, you don't need to be here. Oh, wow. Imagine my shock. Anyway, yes, it has a fan club along with Bill Gates and all these other freaks, but that's a whole other thing. So as I said, that's where we stand here. Stock futures markedly lower this morning, pointing towards a lower open. Let's see what they do. Again, look, in my opinion, action must be taken right now to stabilize this debt market, to prevent a sell-off here. How is it that bond yields rise like this? That's when the bond market is selling off. And this is not what central banks, none more so, than the Federal Reserve want to see right now. A little dark. Okay, anyway. Again, rate suppression, okay, has opened up a doorway for cash to make its way into risk assets More specifically, I'm talking about the stock market. We've seen a hyper bubble, and I mean, forget about a super bubble. This has gone beyond the super bubble. This is a hyper super bubble in the stock market. You all know that if you've been with me any length of time here. And this mechanism has created an alternative environment in every aspect that would not exist if it were not for trillions upon trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars of easy money that have been pumped into the world stock markets because of the action of central banks, creating distortions that are so great, so absolutely immense, that it's very difficult to get your head around. Now, over the past, I don't know, as far back as you want to go now, we don't get corrections in this market. We don't get pullbacks in this market. But yesterday we got a little bit of a sell-off, which seems to be, at least at the open, okay? Anything can happen, but it seems to be playing off on a worldwide scale. So, kudos here to the MMRI. Pretty much nailing it to the wall here. And you and I have been watching this 250 number for how long? For how long? Because we've seen what has happened over and over and over and over again. Whenever we got close to 250, all of a sudden the cavalry comes in. Some entity, I'm going to give you one guess who it is, with enough firepower to buy enough debt to push the 10-year yield down. Well, gets in here and does that. The stock market starts spraying the shorts all over the place and we get gains. But there's something going on here. There's a little different today. The fact that global stock markets sold off overnight, let's see if central banks take action. And you and I can see this in real time. I mean, just keep your eyes on the MMRI. This is a free tool for everyone on this planet who wants to take advantage of it. Again, link in the description of this video, and I hope you do utilize that resource here. Anyway, so that's where we stand. Now let's touch on a few other things. I want to, I'm laughing here. I shouldn't be laughing. So maybe you, somebody out here with, more functioning brain cells than I have, I'm sure that's probably pretty much all of you here, can enlighten me as to how this works. So the economic news this morning is we've added more jobs than we expected. Oh yes, we have a very good ADP jobs number. Came in fantastic. Meanwhile, first-time unemployment claims come in higher than expected. But everyone's giddy because apparently we added more jobs than expected. We're adding nothing. Okay, just so you know here. Every piece of economic news has been bad. Every single leading economic indicator is saying things are going to get a lot worse from here. And as you know, after yesterday, and we'll see what happens today, the yield curve has taken on a much worse inversion. People, just do your own research on this. Every single recession that has been recorded in history since 1950 has been preceded by an inverted yield curve. But never before, ever in this lovely world have we seen this, what we have now. Who's responsible for that? Tell Greg Mannarino again, please. Get your hands ready to tell me, okay? Because I need to know. Who controls the economy? Who actually runs it? Who's in control of the financial markets? Who runs the entire world financial system? Is it brain-dead presidents, kings, queens, monarchs, or dictators? No, it isn't. How about that? But you're supposed to believe it is because Bidenomics is working. You know it is because he said it is. Oh, here comes the hate mail for Greg Mannarino because the Bidenstein Club, they're going to come out and attack Greg Mannarino. Oh, yes, they are. They always do that. They don't like me very much. And you know what? I don't give a damn. How's that? Anyway, it's really the truth. So please explain these things to me in a way that you could explain it to like a Cocker Spaniel. Anyway, so that's where we're at. And with regard to, here's another thing that drives me nuts. Here's another piece of information that you need to know about. U.S. factory orders decline. Oh, who didn't see that one coming? People, do you realize what's going on here? We're in some kind of like a matrix or something. The global economy today is contracting at its fastest pace we've ever seen. We've never seen anything like this before. Don't take my word for it. Look it up for yourself. The numbers that they feed us are all fake. The data is fake. The news is fake. It is all 100% scripted. Again, not only do you and I not have any representation, no one gets held to account. There was a time when the media was held to account by the people. Right now, there's nothing. It's a free-for-all, freak show on an unprecedented scale. And you and I, well, we're living in it. But, look, we can sit here and complain all we want, but we're not going to deviate at all. Do you believe for a nanosecond that we're going to change what we're doing here? Betting against the debt, becoming our own central bank, holding hard assets, gaining exposure to commodities, all the things I've been telling you since time immemorial, okay? This whole thing is going to come apart. Is this coming apart right now? Again, we're seeing a pretty significant sell-off here in the debt market. It's putting pressure on world stock markets, being reflected in the MMRI. I'm damn proud of that. Okay, the MMRI, you and I have known where the first line in the sand is for quite a long time. And look how it played out. Yesterday, we got somewhat of a sell-off here in the market. Last overnight, global stock markets are selling off. And this morning, the Dow is going to open about 300 points in the red. I would say the MMRI pretty much nailed it because, there's all these detractors out here. Greg's MMRI sucks. Really? Tell me, well, then you have something better? Because if you have something better, all of you that don't like the MMRI, I'm willing to follow it. Let me know what you have that works better here. It's not a perfect tool. We don't even have a perfect world. So how can anything be absolutely perfect? But it's damn close to it. Anyway, so people, look, keep your eyes on the MMRI. I will keep you on top of everything, I promise, as I always do. We got each other's backs always, all right? This isn't my thing. This is our thing. And we can't be beaten. In my view, we are freaking invincible because we have each other. You understand? All this other stuff is just all well and good and freaking lovely. But anyway, we got each other, honestly. So that's the situation here. Let's enjoy the festivities, break out the freaking popcorn. All right, I will see all of you 1:05 p.m. for my live stream. People, I count on you. If I covered anything here that's interesting to you, if you were even slightly entertained, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Those thumbs up really do make a difference here. It gets the video out there. You know that. Share the video. Comment. I will read the comments, okay? And I'll see you at 1:05 p.m. Please have some questions ready for me. I do have an interview today, I believe, with Stansberry Research at 9 a.m. And I don't know if that's live or not. If it is, I guess I'll see you there too. All right? Love you a lot. See you later.